Welcome to the English class. Chapter number 2, The Address. Marga Minko. Standard 11, Supplementary Reading Unit number 2, The Address, Episode number 2. So open your textbook. This short story is a poignant account of a daughter who goes in search of her mother's belongings after the war in Holland. When she finds them, the objects evoke memories of her earlier life. However, she decides to leave them all behind and resolves to move on. Do you still know me? I asked. The woman looked at me searchingly. She had opened the door a chink. I came closer and stood on the step. No, I don't know you. I am Mrs. S.'s daughter. She held her hand on the door as though she wanted to prevent it opening any further. Her face gave absolutely no sign of recognition. She kept staring at me in silence. तो मैंने जब अपना खुद का परिचय दिया कि आप मुझे पहचानते, मैंने बताया कि मैं मिसेस एस की डॉटर हूं, फिर भी उन्होंने पहचानने से इनकार कर दिया। वो दरवाजा खोलने के लिए राजी नहीं थी। Perhaps I was mistaken. I thought perhaps it isn't her. I had seen her only once, fleetingly, and that was years ago. It was most probable that I had rung the wrong bell. The woman let go of the door and stepped to the side. She was wearing my mother's green knitted cardigan. The wooden buttons were rather pale from washing. She saw that I was looking at the cardigan and half hid herself again behind the door. But I knew now that I was right. Well, you knew my mother? I asked. Have you come back? Said the woman. I thought that no one had come back, only me. तो वो जो वृद्ध लेडी है वो पहचानने से इनकार कर देती है। इन्होंने देखा, जो हमारे राइटर है उन्होंने, मिसेस एस की डॉटर ने, कि उन्होंने जो पहना हुआ था जो वस्त्र वो भी उनकी मदर का ही था। मगर ये लेडी बहुत कनिंग है तो वो पहचानने से मना करती है। थोड़ी देर के लिए तो हमारे जो राइटर है मार्गा, उनको लगता है कि शायद उन्होंने दूसरे घर की बेल बजा दी, ये एड्रेस जो बताया शायद वो गलत होगा, इसीलिए पहचानने से इनकार करती है। A door opened and closed in the passage behind her. A musty smell emerged. I regret I cannot do anything for you. I have come here specially on the train. I wanted to talk to you for a moment. It is not convenient for me now, said the woman. I can't see you another time. तो ये कहती है कि मैं स्पेशल ट्रेन से आई हूँ, आपके साथ कोई बातचीत करनी है इसलिए आई हूँ। मगर ये जो लेडी है, वुमन है, वो पहचानने से इनकार कर देती है। इट इज नॉट कन्वीनियंट फॉर मी नाउ, सेड द वुमन. आई कांट सी यू अनदर टाइम. शी नॉडेड एंड cautiously closed the door as though no one inside the house should be disturbed. I stood where I was on the step. The curtain in front of the bay window moved. Someone stared at me and would then have asked what I wanted. Oh, nothing. The woman would have said it was nothing. I looked at the nameplate again. Darling, it said, in black letters on white enamel, and on the gem, a bit higher, the number 46. तो वो टेली करती है कि डॉर्लिंग नाम जिस तरह से नेम प्लेट लिखी है, हाउस का नंबर भी लिखा है 46, वो सब कुछ मैच हो रहा है, फिर भी वो लेडी इनकार कर रही है कि मैं आपको पहचानती नहीं हूं, आपकी मदर को भी पहचानती नहीं हूं. As I walked slowly back to the station, I thought about my mother, who had given me the address years ago. It had been in the first half of the war. I was home for a few days and it struck me immediately that something or other about the rooms had changed. I missed various things. My mother was surprised I should have noticed so quickly. Then she told me about Mrs. Darling. I had never heard of her, but apparently she was an old acquaintance of my mother, whom she hadn't seen for years. She had suddenly turned up, renewed their contact. Since then, she had come regularly. तो जिस तरह से ये पूरी बात उनके दिमाग में आती है, वो उनको फिर से मिलना, वो पूरा रिन्यू करना जो कांटेक्ट था, वो सभी बात वो सोचती रहती. Every time she leaves her, she takes something home with her, said my mother. She took all the table silver in one go, and then the antique plates that hung there. She had trouble lugging those large vases, and I am worried she got a creak in her back from the crockery. My mother shook her head pityingly. I would never have dared ask her. She suggested it to me herself. She even insisted she wanted to save all my nice things. If we have to leave her here, we shall lose everything, she says. If we have to leave here, we shall lose everything, she says. Have you agreed with her that she should keep everything? I asked. As if that's necessary, my mother cried. It would simply be an insult to talk like that and think about the risk she is running each time she goes out of our door with a full suitcase or bag. तो जिस तरह से जो चीज इनकी मदर ने उनको दी थी, इनके बारे में ये सब कुछ बता रहे हैं. My mother seemed to notice that I was not entirely convinced. She looked at me reprovingly, and after that we spoke no more about it. Meanwhile, I had arrived at the station without having paid much attention to things on the way. I was walking in familiar places again for the first time since the war, but I did not want to go further than was necessary. I didn't want to upset myself with the sight of streets and houses full of memories from a precious time. In the train back, I saw Mrs. Darling in front of me again as I had the first time I met her. It was the morning after the day my mother had told me about her. I had got up late and coming downstairs, I saw my mother about to see someone out, a woman with a broad back. "There is my daughter," said my mother. She beckoned to me. The woman nodded and picked up the suitcase under the coat rack. She wore a brown coat and shapeless hat. "Does she live far away?" I asked, seeing the difficulty she had going out of the house with the heavy case. "In Marconi Street," said my mother. "Number 46, remember that." I had remembered it, but I had waited a long time to go there. Initially, after the liberation, I was absolutely not interested in all that stored stuff, and naturally, I was also rather afraid of it. Afraid of being confronted with things that had belonged to a connection that no longer existed, which were hidden away in cupboards and boxes and waiting in vain until they were put back in their place again, which had endured all those years because they were things. तो सब कुछ जो इनकी मदर की यादें वो अलमारी के अंदर रख दी गई, छिपाई दी गई. But gradually everything became more normal again. Bread was getting to be a lighter color. There was a bed you could sleep in unthreatened, a room with a view. You were more used to glancing at each day. And one day I noticed I was curious about all the possessions that must still be at that address. I wanted to see them, touch, remember. तो यहाँ पर राइटर कह रही है कि मैं उनको देखना चाहती थी, स्पर्श करना चाहती थी, उनको याद करना चाहती थी. After my first visit in vain to Mrs. Darling's house, I decided to try a second time. Now, a girl of about 15 opened the door to me. I asked her if her mother was at home. "No," she said. "My mother's doing an errand." "No matter," I said. "I'll wait for her." तो इसी तरह से वो वहां जाती है, दूसरा अटेम्प्ट भी करती है. जो डार्लिंग है वो वहां पर नहीं है, मगर उनकी डॉटर है वो उनका घर खोलती है, उनको वेलकम करती है और वो वहां उनके आने तक इंतजार करती है. और इस बीच में जो इंफॉर्मेशन मिलती है वो हमारे राइटर के लिए बहुत ही शॉकिंग रहती है, क्योंकि जो वैल्यूएबल चीज वहां पर रखी थी वो सभी का ये उपयोग करने लगे हैं. वो अपनी समझ कर ही इनको प्रयोजन करते हैं. तो ये सभी बातें इनको बहुत ही दुख पहुंचाती है. तो यहाँ तक दूसरे एपिसोड में हम यहाँ तक रखते हैं. इसके बाद आगे के एपिसोड में हम आगे की स्टोरी पेज नंबर 13 से आगे ले जाएंगे.